And so I started looking in the LA Times for a job because there was nowhere else to look at the time. There was no internet. And I saw this job. It said 25,000 a year in bold. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a sign. This is it. And then underneath it said secretary wanted. And I cringed because I had a big joke with my father. I will never be a secretary. I don't need to take typing classes. And he insisted that I did, thank God. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to apply anyway because I feel like the 25,000 is so in bold, it must be a sign. So I applied and I waited and I didn't hear back and I waited and finally I get a call back and I came in to do an interview and it was actually Jack and his wife Georgia at the time, and they were doing self-esteem in the classroom work. And so when I got there, I thought it was really weird. This is pre-Chicken Soup for the Soul and this dippy condo, red shag carpet. Remember the kind that you had to rake? It was
Oh, that's yes, we're dating.
yeah,
Exactly. We're dating ourselves, but yes, I do remember that.
it was that kind of carpet.
Raking carpets, yes.
And so I got there, I thought this is really weird. And I interviewed at this tiny, tiny little kitchen table. It was enough room for really two. So we did this. It was up against the wall in the kitchen. It was this crazy 3-story condo. And so I did the interview. I took my little packet that they gave me that was all about self-esteem seminars, which I didn't even really resonate with self-esteem at the time. It was just not a thing you talked about in the 80s. And I left and went back to my home and I stopped at my parents and I went on this interview and my dad said, "Oh, that guy's a hippie. I didn't send you to business school so you could work for a hippie." And I'm like, well, whatever. I didn't have a job. So anyway, they finally called back and said, we decided to go with somebody that has more experience in the hotel business. So I thought, all right. And then some of my friends were saying, oh, this guy's really cool. So now I have FOMO and now I'm bummed. Before I had no attachment whatsoever. But since I shared it, I kind of did.